Hello children, welcome to the second PUC economics session. I am Suma, economics lecturer from Commerce Department, Gopal Swami PU College, Mysore. In continuation with the lesson Theory of Firm under Perfect Competition, today we are going to learn two new topics, that is, one is the supply function and another one is average revenue, marginal revenue and total revenue curves. These both can be asked for 6 marks questions. Individually they will be asked, each will be asked for 6 marks. So now let's move towards the first question here, that is AR and MR, average revenue and marginal revenue curves take horizontal line in the perfect competition. Explain with the help of a diagram. Or the same question can be asked only with average revenue. Average revenue curve takes the form of horizontal line in perfect competition. Explain with the help of a diagram. So children, you all know average revenue is total revenue divided by Q. Total revenue we will obtain by multiplying the market price of the product and the quantity divided by the quantity produced. So average revenue is the total revenue divided by quantity produced, and marginal revenue, you all know, it is additional revenue, that is total revenue earned by n number of items minus total revenue earned by n number of items minus 1, that is previous one. So now let's see average revenue. Average revenue is 1 which is the revenue per unit of the goods sold. So under perfect competition, average revenue is always equivalent to market price, because you know in a perfect competition there are large number of sellers as well as large number of buyers. So here in this perfect competitive situation, the seller wants to sell the product at the market prevailing price, wherein if he sells for more amount, if he sells for more price, customers will not come, and if he sells for lesser price, he will lose the money, that he is going to incur the loss. Therefore, in a perfect competition, as you know that each firm is a price taker, but they are not supposed to sell the goods at higher price as well as at the lower price. So therefore, in a perfect competition, the TR goes on increasing, total revenue goes on increasing, but the average revenue as well as the marginal revenue will remain the same. They are equivalent to the price line, because here neither the person cannot sell it for more price nor for lesser price. So just if you explain this with the help of this diagram and with some explanation, you can easily score 6 marks. You can easily score 6 marks. So therefore, the diagram is like this. On OX axis, we are mentioning the output, and on OY axis, we are mentioning the price. Here, as the question itself says, the average revenue and marginal revenue curves take horizontal line under the perfect competitive market situation. Here the AR and the average revenue and market revenue line are equivalent to the price line, but the total revenue only will go on increasing, because the total revenue matters a lot in the case of perfect competitive market, because each firm wants to maximize its profit through maximizing its sales, and therefore as a consumer, each one of us, we wish to maximize the satisfaction. For every single paise that we spend for the product, we want to maximize the profit. So this is the situation of average revenue curve, and this can be asked, the same question can be asked with either only average revenue or only marginal revenue, or together they can be asked with both average revenue as well as marginal revenue curve. So now we will move to the second topic, that is supply function. You all know what is supply in a market. Supply is the quantity of the product that a firm is willing to offer for sale in market at different prices. You know, if you go to market, you can get the product at different prices with different quantities, different measurements. So the supply is nothing but the quantity of the goods that a firm or that may be an individual seller also is willing to offer for sale in the market at different prices. The prices are different because of the different measurements and quantities as well as of different qualities also, because quality also matters, and in a perfect competitive market no seller wishes to compromise with the quality. Everybody wants to give the perfect and good quality product so that they can expect more amount of profit from the consumers. So now let's see the determinants of supply function. The supply function is determined by these factors. That is, supply function is a combination of different components like Px, Pr, Pf, G, T, E and Nf. Now let's see each one. Sx is supply of commodity X. If the firm wishes to supply commodity X, what are all the combinations that are involved in it will be like this. Px is price of the commodity X. That is, when I am ready to supply the commodity X, I should determine the price of the commodity X according to the prevailing market prices. So that is the major determinant of supply function. Second one is PR, price of related goods. For example, I am a stationer that I am going to sell the stationery products, books, pens, everything. I am ready to sell both ballpoint pen as well as ink pen. If the price of ballpoint pen hikes or increases in the market, then I will sell the ink pen at lesser rate, so that the consumer should not feel the burden of the price hike for the same product which gives the same kind of utility. So now let's move to the PF. PF is price of the factors of production. Factors of production are nothing but the input prices wherein we invest on land, labor, capital and organization. So these four are the factors of production. PF is the money spent on gathering the inputs, land, labor, capital and organization. Now let's go to the G. G is government policy. The supply of goods by a firm, by an individual seller depends on government policy. If the government increases the tax, naturally I am also going to increase the market price of the product that I am selling in the market, or else I will wait and keep the stock in the godown till the tax is reduced. Both options are there for a seller. So then we'll come to technological progress. This is an important key factor that determines the supply function in a market under theory of perfect competition. The technological progress, whatever the products that we are seeing today, maybe it is pen, pencil, water bottle or any home consumable appliances, every other year it is coming with further modification, further technological progress. The gas stove what your grandparents have used is not the same what your mother is using now, and may not be the same what you are using the gas stove in future. So the model goes on changing because of the technological progress, and when the technologically products are improvised, modified, obviously the price is going to increase, and therefore only everybody expects the future price. Here with further additional technology, in next year if I am going to get one more new model of any product, so I will wait till that time so that I can get extra money for the same utility product. So I will keep the things go down, keep today's things in go down, and I will not sell in the market, I will stay abstained. So this is the way expectation of future price, because if I sell 10 products for 10 rupees today, instead next year I can sell only 5 products for 20-25 rupees. So that I am going to be benefited more. The last determinant is NF, number of firms existing in the industry. In my previous sessions, I have explained you about the difference between the firm and industry. A firm is a component of industry, wherein an industry is a group of number of firms. as you all know, there are different brands of pens and pencils available in the market. So number of firms that are existing in the firm. For example, I can give you the example of Nataraja pencil, which is a good old brand of pencil in the market. But still now also it is in the market facing different types of perfect competition with different brands of pencils. Still people prefer to buy Nataraja pencil and they ask in the stationery shop that to give that Nataraja pencil only, because it has not compromised with its quality. It did not either hike more amount of price or less the price of it, and the size and shape of the pencil is also same, and even they have come with different types of researches and innovations, and they have added sharpener at the tip of the pencil, or they have added the eraser at the end of the pencil with some new more modifications. The research and innovation wings of different products work in the market, and therefore only for years long, generation by generation, they are existing in the market. You can see in the market, the great grandfather was selling sarees, the same shop is maintained by grandfather, and the same shop is maintained by father, and now the fourth generation son is also maintaining. They are standing in the market under tough perfect competition. They have kept a few footsteps, strong footstep, so that they are trustworthy in the market in spite of all the variations in the market in price, and as well as different types of variations also they are sustaining in the market, means they have proven that people are having trust on them. They are very trustworthy and people are going to give money to them and buy the product. So this is the supply function. So this also can be asked for you for 4 marks or 6 marks. These are all important topics of this lesson, children. Thank you. In our next session, we'll continue with another topic of the same lesson. Thank you.